Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, my name is Pavol Vesely and I come from Bratislava, Slovakia. Thank you, Dr. Studulka, for inviting me to this AECOS webinar. Today, I will be speaking about refractive surprise after ICL implantation. The patient was a 30-year-old female with no ocular history, and she had considered her refractive surgery for 15 years. Visual acuity was on both eyes, uncorrected. Finger count corrected 1.0. There was no ocular pathology present, and the endothelium count was good enough for us to indicate her for the ICL implantation. Her ICL was implanted in between the posterior face of the iris and the anterior surface of the lens. Both surgeries were uneventful, with a postoperative visual acuity on the right eye 1.0, while on the left eye only 0.16. We reached 1.0 only with -6 diopters. That means we have come out with a refractive surprise of 6 diopters after the surgery. Immediately, I started to look for the reason of this refractive surprise. The first thing I checked was the calculation sheet, where I realized that the target lens I have calculated and ordered is only -4 diopters, which is in strong contrast with the mistake of the patient that is -8.25 diopters. I repeated the calculation and the result showed that I should have ordered a lens of power -10 diopters instead. I had to admit my mistake, tell the patient the truth, and perform a surgery. The surgery is explantation of the ICL and immediate implantation of the new one. Here is a short video of the explantation where I first placed the plate haptics on the top surface of the iris and then pulled it out gently from the eye. After this, a new ICL was implanted into the anterior chamber and afterwards placed into the correct position behind the iris and in front of the lens. Here you can see the implantation of the new lens. The next day and in the close future, I followed the patient very carefully. Visual acuity on the right eye remained 1.0 and also on the left eye it remained 1.0. The endothelium count was very satisfying. There was no cataract present on either of the two eyes after 3 months. I still was asking myself how such a great refractive surprise arose. First days, my head was empty, as this PowerPoint slide is. But then, once I finished my phone call and placed my iPhone next to the computer keyboard, I realized where the problem was. Number 2 and number 8 have different position on the computer keyboard and on the phone dial. While on the phone dial, number 2 is located in the top row, on the computer keyboard it is located in the bottom row, vice versa for the number 8. Me, during the calculation, used to work more and more with the cell phone, I accidentally hit the keyboard with the number 2 instead of the keyboard number 8. By this oversight, I caused a refractive error. Why is it so? The push button phone was designed to mimic the original dialing numbers where number 1, 2, and 3 are stored at the top and numbers 7, 8, and 9 at the bottom. However, at the time of invention of the push-button telephone, that was 1950s, there already were calculators and cash registers with numbers 7, 8, and 9 reversed on the top row. Surely, immediately we took corrective actions, and that is that each calculation is performed by 2 doctors independently or by 1 doctor twice with a time gap. After the patient is indicated for the surgery, we also repeat the calculation and control the results just before the surgery. In conclusion, despite my mistake, this refractive surprise had a happy ending. However, our goal should not only be to solve such a situation, but also to find its cause and learn how to prevent it. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
So, Pavol, thank you very much for your interesting talk, and I open the discussion here.
Yeah, Pavol, well done on highlighting a case like that. I must say, I learned something. You know, we all use keyboards all the time on our phone and on our laptops and computers, and I don't think I'd ever realized that the keyboard is flipped. It's a fascinating case, and I think the one thing that for me was positive was the fact that the error that you made was exactly what you expected. Once you saw what the error was, you know, it all made sense to you.
Well, it didn't make sense to me like this. I mean, it took, as I said, it took me a few days to realize that I'd made the mistake. Well, no, I realized immediately that I made the mistake, but it took me several days to realize how the mistake was done or where was the point. And as I said, if I didn't place the phone right next to the keyboard, I wouldn't get to this idea at all, and I would be lost definitely. And I mean, now I know. Now it's very easy for me to talk about this. But that was a question of luck. I mean, I was looking for the mistake, but this, I only saw it just like by chance.
You know, it's quite unusual for that level of anisometropia in a case. So what would be very useful feedback for STAR is that when they see a discrepancy in a lens being ordered between two eyes being so different, to maybe, give us a warning and say, are you sure? Is this right? Is this right? That might be good feedback.
That would actually be excellent feedback, and I would love it. Or if there was, if they would use more AI while computing or the IOLs and ordering the IOLs, actually, there would be enough for you to see an exclamation mark. Hold on, you are ordering two lenses with extremely different power. Then I would definitely go back. Yes, that would be very, very nice service coming from the STAR to help us avoid these mistakes. Plus, there is another way how to avoid this mistake, and that is not using the keyboard, the numerical keyboard on the computer keyboard, but use the top letters, top numbers in the top line of the keyboard above Q, W, E, R, T, Z, U. The top numbers would actually not let you to do this mistake.
That's what I do, because I use my notebook, so I have no other option than that. But I think it's really great to showcase this possible mistake. And thank you, Pavol, because not everyone would dare to share that. And I think we can all learn, and whatever can happen will happen one day. So thank you for that. And one question regarding the surgery. For ICL explantation, do you enlarge the incision, or can you get it out through the same unenlarged incision?
Same incision, no enlargement at all.
Yeah.
And what I have to admit and add is probably the patient. She was a neurologist, so she understood possible medical complications, and she was very, very tolerant. She said, "Okay, mistakes happened. Fine. Actually, you found a mistake. We know how to solve the mistake. Let's do the second surgery." If there was a engineer or teacher, God save me.
It was a great case, and it's great to bring that up, because we are all doing that type of mistake, and we are always learning from someone that is bringing that up, but it's not easy to bring that up. So first, thanks a lot for that. Second, it's just incredible how all the cases that are being challenging and complicated usually is with physician patient. So that's an interesting point. And I love your comment about AI, because I think this is where usually we're always having this double thought about AI. It might be dangerous. We might replace a human with AI and so on. I think this is exactly where AI has his spot to manage with a lot of data, and to manage a situation with no confusion of external factors. And I think it can be here to help exactly not doing that type of mistake, and it should be something that you guys should probably suggest to start. That's
Thank you again. Excellent. Thank you for sharing that.